Okay, so here on page 15, we had a hypothesis test with two different means. Do you think the mean time of watching TV is different for college men and college women? So that ended up being a two-tailed hypothesis test. Oh, looks like I did this one way too fast, so please excuse my errors in the answer key there. Okay, our next one was page 18, and this one wasn't a hypothesis test, it was a confidence interval. So you want to make sure you don't do all the work for the hypothesis test and then find out, oh, we were actually being asked to do a confidence interval. That's a big bummer when you miss all those points on a quiz or test. So here we had a confidence interval for the difference of the mean of men and women. So this was related to that other one, wasn't it? The times for watching TV. Okay. And then the full questions from the 11.5 notes. Here is our first page, our question 1 about McDonald's and the two setups for their lines. So we have two different means. And that one was a two-tailed test. We wanted to know if the wait times would be different. For question 2, we've got the confidence interval up here with our formula for mean of differences. So it's a mu sub d that's in between those two bounds. And then our hypothesis test, where we are seeing if the mu sub d is greater than 0. Reminders of some of our notation. X bar sub d is the same as d bar. Mu bar sub d is the same as d. Page 21, question 3. At the top, we have a hypothesis test, trying to figure out if there's a difference in the number of males and females that have tattoos. So P1, is it different from P2? And then down here, a 95% confidence interval for the difference in proportions of males and females that have tattoos. So we just wanted to know if they're different here. We didn't really want to think of the difference between the two. We're just comparing the two. And then here are confidence intervals, P1 minus P2. And lastly, question 4 about Avandia. We first have a hypothesis test. We wondered if the incidence of heart attacks is higher among the Avandia group than the other treatments group, and Avandia was group 1. So is P1 greater than P2 was our claim for our right tail test. And then for the confidence interval, we had the difference in two proportions. And so again, our variable in the middle is our P1 minus P2. Okay, that's it for our notes this semester. Please feel free to email me, visit with me on Zoom, or post your questions in the discussions. Bye.